Astra Avisask. We meet.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for?
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the academe.
Wait.
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the odd.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just.
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of.
From when she said.
So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was in my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was...
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too... By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival.
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was right. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the Wither, but for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the...
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the Sage's activities.
Oh, good point. Sorry,
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the Sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect... In any case, I probably can't take over their minds. No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve... Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish...
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of submit...
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City...
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense.
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make...
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided...
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone. And
Actually, I already have someone in mind.
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one we ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself? You could even say we're old and Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then.
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, but in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right?
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage.
Astra Avisask. We meet.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for...
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the
Wait.
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some...
Paimon's gotta ask. Just...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of...
From when she said...
So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was in my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was...
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too... By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival.
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was right. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the Wither, but for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like this?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the Sage's activities.
Oh, good point. Sorry,
let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can invent?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, it seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet. But distrusting me would make perfect... In any case, I probably can't take over their minds. No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve... Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish...
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of submission.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City...
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill...
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make up...
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided...
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone. And
actually, I already have someone in mind.
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who we ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself? You could even say we're old and Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve...
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then.
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, but in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right?
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also... From my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the Academia every 10 days to do... Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots. And... This should be Setaria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the fortune...
No, I already have enough information on Setaria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention.
Talking style and...
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled of the divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears?
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future.
Of course. Uh-huh. It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Health prospects. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many... Harut! Marut! Did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix...
Is that so? Well, that can't...
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Sumeru City. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in...
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use...
That's nice. You're making a living doing something...
So is your father still...
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years...
I see. We wish him peace, and I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods.
No problem. Rest easy, all our...
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes by.
Nahida, you've really...
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, if I recall, you were having a discussion...
That's right! I've always... After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru but I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get to the academia after...
What an admirable spirit for learning.
Sure, but you'll find...
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold...
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student...
So, was that everybody?
3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida,
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems. So we must find... I remember that you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormos are all making a fuss about the Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the fate of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt, Sataria. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Well, the Scarlet King is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple... If we simply engaged her under the guise of the Scarlet King's believers, she would definitely be weird, but if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her...
So, you mean you're going to possess those people
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply that they've already converted to the faith of the Scarlet King, and then convey our made-up will of the Scarlet King. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure.
Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only...
Exactly. So, best of luck with...
Huh? Best of luck?
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha tournament.
Huh. That is pretty convenient.
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you...
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But see...
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone.
Alright, then let's give it a go to...
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
Oh, here she comes. Sataria's here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel... Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hide...
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still...
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about...
Okay then. You just seemed a little... strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Are you sure? Those aren't...
Well, actually they have many names.
Huh, I see.
So, which fortune do you want?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like...
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my...
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods are asking. Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone... home? Do the gods really...
Sataria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a...
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please, and if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who speaks?
What an consider it a naive question. The god who...
The Scarlet King? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Huh. Even though news of the Scarlet King's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the Academy.
What insolence! I am the Scarlet King's most loyal believer.
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa, she just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotion.
All I know are some abstract Harava-taught theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and
She's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for? Gardening? But don't you hate everything to do with plants? I still remember getting mad at you for secretly throwing away the bones I...
You see, a friend told me that the...
Fair enough. I didn't think... Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about him...
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Please pass on that recently, faith in the Scarlet King has taken root in Port Ormos. He has a quick temper, and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight...
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray the Scarlet King.
Akeem! You don't mean... You've also become a believer of the...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't...
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa, Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain...
Come on, Sitaria's already started talking with Shishan.
So, Shishan, have you, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Oh, right. Speaking, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost...
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted...
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by...
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sitaria's still trying to run from her problem.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards. What should we do?
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out of...
Please, try to remain calm, miss.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking?
The Scarlet King! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead.
Miss Sataria, nothing...
You know my name?
The Scarlet King is immortal, and all who defy him will one day... You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's child of the Scarlet King. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise Scarlet King? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of the Scarlet King.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plan. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while...
How do you know me so well?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could...
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the sage's current activity?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff... I've just been working to meet the Grand Sages. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city. And
to fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential...
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on... One thing, though. I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be...
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't... I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the...
All right, I trust you.
So, if...
that'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro...
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to...
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves all the... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of...
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always... That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind.
Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight, so we need to protect Catherine's identity.
Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully rule out the chance that if something were to happen, my existence may be the only. After all, the academia should still be unable to confirm the existence.
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night. Of course it's quiet.
No, I think she's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets.
Huh. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sataria figured out a way to not only distract the guard.
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But
well, regardless, as long as you're here with us. Huh. There really aren't many people out right now. Let's hope it'll be this quiet in front of the academia, and that Sataria managed to distract all the guards.
What's the hurry?
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
you're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a F2P harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Whew. Paimon needs to catch her breath first. Is the Hida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was number 2. He called himself the Doctor. Remember, Tainari told us about him. Sataria did say that and that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just dealing with the academia, but what are the Fatui after this? Yeah, things would be a lot easier with Nahida's help. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. But we can't just... you mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited by the sages to work on some project when we were staying with him in the Vidia forest? Even though he turned it down at the time, he might still... There's no time to lose. Let's go to Gandharvaville.
Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
Hold it right there! A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you, all right. Take a look around.
Are you mercenaries from the Corps of...
Corps of 30? We're nothing like those government lapdogs who don't even get... We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate in all of Sumeru. We're here on the...
The outcast? An outcast from the academia? But why wouldn't the doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting time on idle chit-chat. We'll shut you up soon enough. Get them!
You're up, traveler!
Oh, so sorry.
Come a little
Windblade!
I'll take my... Need! That's close enough. Cool it!
Prepare to be blown away! Boba, get them! It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements! Windblade!
Come a little closer.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenaries are like? Yeah, looks like we'll have... But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough opponent. He knew exactly where to set up an ambush. Did he... going up against smart people is tough. Anyway...
I think I'll start with these questions. The rainforest is the best place to live.
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. What are you two doing back here? Kale! It's nice to see you again. To be honest, I'm not doing too well. My Elazar has been progressed. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol schedule. Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go off on patrol? We're here to talk. Oh, Master Tainari? You just left the Avidia forest a little while ago. He left? What? Isn't Tainari always saying that he never... I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher above everything. He almost never leaves his... No, I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. He also... To leave in such a hurry? I'd guess he had something urgent. Master Tainari originally studied in the Amorta Darshan of the Academia. Impartus Di is something like the Amorta's research base. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time— A research base, huh? Gotta wonder what kind of research type— Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI. Don't worry. I'm fine. I'm used to living with Elazar. Got it. Will do. See you later, Kale!
Today's no good for going out. Did I say that yesterday as well?
Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey! This was supposed to be a touching reunion, but you're—
Actually, it's very smart of the traveler to be wary of me right now. After all, the doctor has shown that. Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after we split up, and I was facing even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm can occasionally—
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such an obscure analogy.
Huh? But I wasn't trying to win your
Well, we understand that point now. Please, Nahida, tell us more about what—
When you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Thankfully, when the doctor mentioned depositing information into the subconscious, instead, he did something closer to creating hallucinations. That was still with the— Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and mind jump away from him just as he was—
What a relief. The doctor sure pulled out some hidden cards, but—
I wouldn't be relieved just yet. I gave away my true identity when I restored everyone's minds, which means we've lost another one of our trump cards. Also, the doctor is already an expert at modifying Akasha terminals.
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then how do we stop him? He's still at the Academia, so it's it feels like he's toying with us. Plus, the doctor's combat ability alone is apparently enough to make him worthy—
We shouldn't give up hope just yet. Let's try to find an—
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's Dia?
Yes, I have. I can see the traveler's elemental energy, so I deduced your destination by looking at the direction you were moving in. You didn't come here for sightseeing, right?
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari, and the sages once tried to reach out to him. Why don't you come inside with us and see what we can find?
Okay, let's just hope we won't get him into trouble.
Traveler?
The voice! It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the—
Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to— Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pari?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed.
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime when my consciousness made contact with the gods. What a surprise!
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insight. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connect.
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a...
Hold on. I brought some spirit born ale with me. This is still a crucial part of...
We're using that...
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll have...
Okay.
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladier's memories? Everything matches what we know, but how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart.
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no periporno life, but rather...
Ah! You... Why are you so mean to me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should... Wait. Have I... already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right!
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no.
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's... Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, "The doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't but even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies."
Oh no! Nahida, was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to... Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out... Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from that alchemical divination at the... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. But she isn't with us anymore.
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana. Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking...
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit...
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side, so...
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the project that the Sage...
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about it. All I know is that that project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went...
Tainari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because...
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to parties. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to... Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly hot, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the Doctor and the Balladeer. We have two from your description. I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room, but then what is the connection between creating a new...
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tainari?
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Rib. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help.
Thanks, Tainari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're up... pretty. So, just past this wall is the desert. Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Hatham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the? Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were...
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago. There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal... All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Al-Hatham. We never... Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon...
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia, don't you think you'd already...
Oh, right. You do have a point.
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you in...
Al-Hatham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even knows...
So that's your answer. Well, I do work, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But...
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well...
It's always better to travel with someone you know.
No pain, no gain.
Before us lies Aru Village, The safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else.
Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how—
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my—
judgment? So that's how you'd characterize—
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist.
Seemed to me more like your own person.
Who is that, Al-Hatham?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Al-Hatham. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek—
Has Al-Hatham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't—
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, or as far as I'm aware, the other Matra have you been given a mission that's— If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources?
I should have known you'd be difficult.
You two! Ugh! What you—
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here, otherwise these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtue, but how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you— Hey, did either of you hear a word I—
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong!
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is—
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you Academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Well, this is— Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace.
Our savior has come at last. Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the... As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before... And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make... So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and if anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the same...
On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear.
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Al-Haytham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen...
Huh? Exile your...
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the... Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his... The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have...
So they really...
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert the vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold. They are meaningless to the Academia. I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot... Well, Sino, if that's your story...
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Al-Haytham. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler.
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we...
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the...
Al-Haytham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me...
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little... So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom, and I'd been less guarded. I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to...
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive...
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in port, so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidence.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing this. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Al-Haytham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth any. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it. After all, curiosity...
You should be well aware, Scribe Al-Haytham, that curiosity can also... Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia.
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy.
As you wish.
Good. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so... My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that, Sam?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip out.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions.
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she all right?
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here...
Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with this creature?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane, and now
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
you're in for a little shock. I have some for you, too.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
Surrender and be gentle.
Nice and spicy! Be gone! The creature stopped appearing. Was that the...
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently, besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural...
Another effect of So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can
Everyone in Aru village needs to take good care. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village...
Village keeper? Who are they?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars, exiled. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village, but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying—
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an—
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their but is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better— Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far. Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially— Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origin. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious— When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. All the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots after that. The people of Aru Village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru Village? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said—
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they—
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then— So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha—
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she The academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her—
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a— How should Paimon put it?
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth!
That look in your eyes. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this but easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you...
Grandpa is just Grandpa. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want...
So you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was. But I had a...
Whoa. Ethan wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe...
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candid.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra...
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of...
I had a
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was... Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man... One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become... So grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize... It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa."
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hard... It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this...
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get it...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow! Yeah!
All right. Let's ask the...